QDCMS tutorial for Address Book. This is the overview of the Address Book. The Address Book is a module within QDCMS that provides you with a central place to manage all of your contacts. Let's go ahead and get started. For the purposes of this tutorial, I've selected the quantumdelta.com website, and here we are within the Address Book module. And let's first talk about adding contacts. There are a couple of different ways that you can add a contact. You can click Add Contact, which allows you to add one contact at a time by filling out a form with all of the different fields that you want to maintain on that contact. You can put them in various groups that you have already created for your website. The other way you can add contacts to your address book is to upload them with an Excel spreadsheet using the Upload Contacts link here. Here you can download a template, you can select an existing Excel spreadsheet, select which groups you want, and then it allows you to map the fields. So it doesn't have to match exactly what we have in our database. It allows you to match up the fields in your Excel spreadsheet with the fields that we have in the QDCMS address book database. And you can accept the mapping and it will import all of those contacts for you in bulk. Very handy feature. Let's move on to groups and talk a little bit about groups. To add groups to your address book for your site, you can click the Add Group link here. This brings up a form that is fairly simple, and there's a parent group, so it allows you to create a hierarchy of different groups. This is very handy with site directories. Create a name for your group so you can identify that group, and status that is around the site directory feature that may or may not be on your implemented on your website. Description, keywords, click the add group and it will add that group with no contacts in it. So we talked a little bit about groups. Let's talk about group contacts. Here we have some groups that already have been created and they have contacts in them. To navigate from group to group, let's click a drop down here and it'll show us all of the contacts within that particular group. And we can always go back up to the top and click all contacts. Once we have selected a group, we can edit or delete that group. Deleting that group will remove the group but not the contacts within that group. It will give you a verification screen that looks like this that warns you that you're about to delete a group, and it won't delete the contacts but it will remove them from that group. To edit a group, you click Edit Group and it provides you with virtually the same form that you saw a minute ago when we added a group, but it's got the fields filled out, so you can just update those fields and click Save Group and it will update your group information for you. So now let's move on to searching. There are several different ways that you can search in the address book. You can, first we'll cover the advanced search. The advanced search gives you an advanced way to search on a particular field. So any one of these fields that are listed here, you can put some search criteria in that field and it will search the entire address book on that particular field. If you wanted to narrow that search to searching a particular field and only members of a particular group, you could select a group and put the field, and once you hit search, it returns the results back to your screen. One of the other ways to search within the address book is the Find Duplicates feature. We can click on that here, and this interface allows us to select one of multiple criteria that we can search for duplicates on. So for an example, we can choose name, and it will find duplicates that have the same first name and last name for those particular contacts. Now the last way I'm going to show you how to search the address book is what we call the simple search. In the top right hand corner of the address book screen, you'll see a box with a search button next to it. You can put criteria in this box and it will search all the fields of the address book for matching characters. So here we can put in some data, hit search, it returns results for us. And if you click show all, it will return all of the results for all of the contacts back to your screen. Now one of the neat things about the simple search particularly is that it maintains the search criteria. So if I put in some criteria here and I jump from group to group, it'll maintain that search criteria as I go from group to group. So for an example, if I was in a group and I had some criteria, and then I go back to all contacts, it will maintain that criteria and might show me more search results. Now within the address book, the contacts are always displayed here in these business card type formats, where it displays the most relevant information right there at your fingertips for each and every contact. So it's easy to find their phone numbers, their address, their name, the company name, so on and so forth. Also here within the address book interface, regarding contacts, it shows us how many contacts are on our screen at a particular time of how many total contacts within that search criteria or that particular group. So these numbers change, and if there are too many to display on the screen at one time, it will employ the pagination technology, allowing you to go from page to page, and it will show you how many pages there are that are at your fingertips to browse. Now let's talk about the business card user interface, how we interface with our contacts themselves. Here we have a contact, and on the bottom row of that business card interface for that contact are different ways that we can interface with that contact. The checkbox is the first thing that we'll note. Each contact has a checkbox. We can select multiple checkboxes, selecting each contact, and then up here in the title bar, if you will, for the search results where our contacts are displayed, we can choose to delete these contacts or copy these contacts. Now it will give you a warning such as this before it actually deletes those contacts. And when you choose copy, it provides you with a list of all of the different groups that are available to you. So you can easily copy contacts from one group into multiple other groups. Here on this toolbar underneath the contact, there's also a means for us to click and edit the contact. The little pencil icon allows us to edit any and all information regarding that particular contact. Following that is the download vCard icon. If you click on this, you will get the opportunity to download a vCard to your computer for that contact, and that will allow you to import that contact, if you will, into your own personal address book on your computer. The next icon is View Notes. Notes is a very powerful feature where we can create notes for any particular contact with our note area here, and it will timestamp each note for us so that we have a kind of a log of all of our interaction with that particular contact. And the next icon is View Events. Now if a contact is registered for an event that is in the events area of your website, this is where you can interface with all of those events, see what events they're registered for, and update those events. Now if a contact has a physical address, even if it's just a city and a state, the address book module will find the latitude and longitude coordinates for that particular location and store them in the database, which allows us to tie your address book directly into Google Maps. So with any contact, you can click on the map icon and it will bring up a Google map of that contact with all of their contact information right there at your fingertips. Once you've found the contacts that you want to export to an Excel spreadsheet, you can easily do that by clicking the export link here in Address Book. This allows you to export the contacts that you have to an Excel spreadsheet. You can even select which fields you export by clicking the checkboxes next to the fields that you want or don't want. When you're ready, hit export. It will compile your list, put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and allow you to download it to your computer. And that's it for the overview of QDCMS Address Book. For more detailed tutorials, check out the other tutorials on the Address Book module.